Hello, it's Brad here from My Blueprint. In the following video, I will cover the steps required for students in grade 8 to complete course selection for grade 9. To begin, I've logged into an elementary counselor account, and I'll head up to the Student View button in the top right-hand corner. When I select the Student View button, it will launch a new window, and from this window I will have a demonstrational student account. I can see that in my demo account I'm set up as a grade 8 student. What this will allow me to do is to provide a demonstration for my students on completing course selection for high school. To begin, I can head over into the high school tab, and this will load up a high school grid for students to go through and select their courses. Again, I'm as a staff member in a demo account, and this allows me to show students how I can go through and create the selection process. What I'm going to do now instead is head back into my staff account. So you can see I have two tabs. When I clicked on the student view, it opened up a second tab. By closing that tab, I can head back to my staff account. In my staff account, on my dashboard, I'll notice this box that says Active Students. This is where I'll be able to see all of the students that I have in my school and interact with them to support them in their course selection. You'll notice when you head into your students area here that there's filters that you can enable, and from these drop downs you're able to work within these filters to ensure that you have certain grade levels selected, as well as activation status or submission status. So from these drop downs I've selected not submitted, meaning that these students have not yet submitted their courses, and activated, meaning that they have logged in. In your school setting, most of your students will be listed as activated. If they're not activated, they just need to log in, and as soon as they've logged in and access their account, that will create the link between your student information system and My Blueprint. I'll see now a list of all of the students. I can see in the very last column here the course selection status, where I've got awaiting submission, meaning that course selection is open at the secondary school and we're waiting for this student to submit their courses. What I'm going to do is head into a student account here now and provide a demonstration of the full course selection process from the student account. A handy tip when supporting students with course selection is this little three-dot menu beside the student name. By selecting these three dots, I'll see an individual menu for this student, and I can scroll right down to the bottom here to View High School Planner. What this will do is launch a new window where I'll be able to impersonate the student and support them with their course selections. So here I can see the student course selection grid, and I can see that many of the selections are already populated for the student. I did go ahead and add some of these courses in, knowing that these course codes are a little bit outdated with the new dstreamed. But I'll just highlight a couple of course selections and then go through the step-by-step process here at the top for adding courses, reviewing the courses, and then lastly submitting them. So as an example from the grade 9 column, if I were to select mathematics, I can see the dstreamed math course, consult the course description, and go ahead and add that course in there. As well, at the very bottom here, I've got a blank course. When I click in on this, I'll be able to see the different subject disciplines, and we know for grade 9 students there's not a ton of choice for those electives, but in this case we'll go ahead and add in an Exploring Technologies course for this student. I now have a full course plan with 8 courses. We do also have alternates down here, and many secondary schools require alternates as a part of the submission, so that if those first choices are unavailable, students are able to be enrolled in an alternate course. Now that I have my selections in my column, I've completed step 1, adding courses. Step 2 is to review my courses, so I'll select this blue Review Courses button, and what this will do is it will give me an error saying that I have not added an alternate course to my plan. I'm going to go ahead and hit Continue because it's helpful to see what happens when there's issues. And I'm in step 2 now, reviewing the courses. The green check indicates that I've met the prerequisite requirements for these courses and that they're good to go for my plan. You'll also notice that there's a comment area here as well. Many secondary schools have the option configured so that if students are submitting with an issue, which I'm attempting to do with adding my course plan, missing an alternate course, it's going to pause my submission and ask me for a comment to justify why I'm submitting my courses with an issue. So in this case, I might be able to add a note or details about my alternate details about alternate course, and go ahead and select. As soon as students submit their courses, they'll be prompted to add a parent email address for parent or guardian approval. So this is a very important step to confirm with your students and to know that they have a parent email address on hand at course selection time, so that they're able to send this off for parent confirmation. Once they've added that parent email information, they'll get a success notice. They'll also notice that the send approval email and a printer icon appear here upon submission of courses, so that if they perhaps put an error in the email address or need to send it to multiple adults, they can do that. Or if email access is unavailable at home, they can also generate a PDF or a printout. This is also available from the staff end as well to support students with the course approval. Now that I've submitted my courses, I can return to my high school plan. My high school plan will now have a verification with a timestamp that my courses were submitted, and again I'll see the send approval and the printer icon available to me at any time. What you'll also notice is that once I've submitted my courses, my course plan is locked, so I am no longer able to make any updates or changes to the courses that I've submitted until those have been reviewed. Now we will head back into the staff account, where we can have a look at some of the features and resources that are available to support students after their selections have been submitted. To have a look at student course selections, we'll head back into the student tab here. And again, I see all of my students listed, and there's a few tabs across the top. All students reports all of the students that I have in my school, regardless of course selection status. Pending approval shows me a list of all of the students that have selected courses and have submitted those selections. And this is where we're able to toggle some different filters and review those student submissions. So as an example, I just shared with you how we submitted the courses for this student, and what we can do is click in on the student name. We'll be directed to a course selection area. So in this case, I can see the error warning that the student is missing the mandatory alternate course, and from our counselor account here, we can add in those alternates for a student. If the student made an error or a mistake with their submissions, we're able to work with the student and to make changes with any of those courses as well. So you can see here from my counselor account, I'm able to delete courses, and I can go ahead and add in a course as needed. So very helpful from your account to be able to support the student. We're also here on the side able to view a few additional pieces of information. You'll notice at the top here pending approval with a few options of approving submissions. The submission approval will be done at the secondary level, so you can ignore the first few buttons. However, the blue reallow submission might be helpful if students have made an error. This will send it back to the student so the student can make any corrections or changes to their submission. We'll also have a notification here about the parent approval status, so I can see that it was sent to this email address on this date, but it is pending. As soon as the parent opens their email, reviews those submissions, and selects approve, we'll see a notification with a timestamp of when those submissions were approved. I can also see a submission comment in here where I would have some details about the missing alternate. So this is a very helpful way for us just to verify and confirm the parent-guardian approval, as well as any comments. We're also confirming where those course selections are going, so ensuring that it is the correct secondary school for this student. A few other areas that we can toggle are these drop-down menus with different filters. These filters allow us to go through and to verify certain components of student course selection status. So you can see obviously the main filters here of student name, elementary school, grade, and so on, but we'll also find here issues. So if the student has submitted their courses with certain issues, those will be flagged and we're able to have a look. So if, as an example, a student has submitted courses for maybe more senior level secondary courses and they don't yet have those prerequisites met, we will be able to flag those issues. Students have not submitted enough credits, and so on. So those issues are very helpful. We're also able to filter by if student submissions have comments, and this is helpful as well to ensure that we're engaging with any of the information that students have provided in addition to their course selection submissions. Over on the right hand side here, we're able to also filter by course, and this allows us to toggle all of the student course submissions and to find any students that have submitted specific courses. So as an example, if we were looking for a certain geography course or English course, we're able to filter and to see student plans with those courses in them. Lastly, parent approval here, it allows us to filter by if those approvals are still pending, if they've not been sent, or if they've been approved. So this is helpful for us to follow up with students if we're still waiting on those parent approvals to I mentioned that the approval will take place at the secondary school, but I just want to highlight one last piece here on group actions. So I can select multiple students and select this group actions button here. And two pieces that I want to point out, one being print options. So if there's a group of students that perhaps are unable to get that email parent approval, from the print options we're able to toggle and select course selection sign-off sheet, and we can print off a one-page PDF that indicates the student course selections and has a field for parent approval. The other group action that can be helpful is re-allowing submissions en masse. So if there are a couple of students that submitted courses erroneously, we can go through and re-allow submission from this area. As your students' course selections are approved at the secondary level, your students will move from the pending approval into the pending export tab, and from the pending export tab, the student course selections will be communicated back to the student information system for registration. The last piece that I want to highlight is back in your dashboard here. We've highlighted the student view where you're able to provide demos of student course selection process. I also want to highlight the help button down here in the bottom right hand corner. This is where you're able to interact with our support network. So we've got support articles as well as resources to connect directly with our support team. So if there's any questions that come up, please do connect with us directly. And then in the bottom left hand corner you'll find our support center, and in our support center you'll find a treasure trove of resources that support students in their pathway planning, as well as specific to course selection. Also in our videos you'll find great resources that support students with Education Planner. And I just want to highlight quickly, if you're providing students with a demo of the course selection process, or you've got an assembly coming up, this student course selection demo 2-minute video is an excellent resource that quickly highlights how students can complete their selections within My Blueprint. I hope this is helpful. Take care and good luck.